Caffe Panna is back with probably her last pack of the year, 2020. And happy holidays to all, first of all. This pack is the Stracciatella pack. And we've got a very bold statement here in the flavor lineup, if you can read this closely. This is absolutely my favorite pack yet. Very strong words. And I was a little skeptical going in. Not skeptical, I knew I was going to order. I didn't mean it in that sense. But Stracciatella, if you don't know, in layman's terms, it's just chocolate. Fancy like chocolate chips throughout. So these pints, all these pints will have nothing but ice cream and Stracciatella, aka chocolate chips. We're going to break this up into two 3-pint reviews, and we're going to start with the three that appealed to me the least. Not that I don't like them, they just didn't appeal to me as much as the other three, which will come after this review. We've got Eggnog Stracciatella, Cranberry Stracciatella, and we've got Pistachio Stracciatella. So, with all that said, we're going to go at them in that order, and we're going to start with Eggnog Stracciatella. Also, Caffe Panna. Thanks for the swag. Panna, Panna, Panna. Panna, Panna, Panna. Team, oh, let me throw that hoodie. Team Panna. That's right, I actually work for, no, I'm kidding. Anyways, let's dig in, let's get at it. Eggnog Stracciatella is an eggnog ice cream, but the shards, the Stracciatella, is a dulce chocolate. So dulce is a caramelized white chocolate that tastes like caramel in chocolate form. And there's no sense in keeping it a secret. I think this one is the sleeper of the entire pack. I know a lot of you are right now out there watching this shaking your heads like, no way, eggnog's not that good. But surprisingly, this is very good. It's essentially, just think of like a custard-like ice cream with a little bit of vanilla flavor. I mean, yes, it is eggy, but isn't that what custard is anyways? Your cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg, it's light. It doesn't really stand out. It's not heavy on the spice, is what I'm trying to say. So, I guess in that aspect, if you're a hardcore eggnogger, that may not be the best thing if you're looking for that spice, but I can tell you this, it is very creamy and it is very flavorful ice cream. If you would have asked me, hey Matthew, what mix-in should I put in my eggnog ice cream? I probably would have been at a loss of words. But the dulce chocolate was an amazing move. And it's best described as Caffe Panna wrote in the description. It's just caramel in chocolate form. White chocolate, that is. If I elaborate, it's sweet from being caramelized down, but has that glossy butteriness of white chocolate. Here's my complaint. I know, I always have one, but with this one, it's the fact that the caramel chocolate flavor wears off the deeper you dig, and here's why. Right under the lid, it mainly came as a hardened drizzle. And you can see a big chunk of it here. So there's a lot of this at the top. But after that, it came in tiny, I'm gonna say what you would call like thin, crunchy, like chocolate flakes, which you can see scattered around here. So the crunch is nice with those little flakes, but the flavor, it just weakens a bit just because they're quite smaller the deeper you dig. Despite that minor hiccup, I'm still a big fan of this typically unpopular eggnog flavor. I can guarantee that you'll be happily surprised as well. 8.5 out of 10. I do not think it is a stretch at all to say that Cranberry Stracciatella is the least appealing flavor of this pack. I know Hallie's probably cussing me right now, but let's be real. Cranberries, it's just not loved that much by, many people. And this is a creamy, tart cranberry ice cream with raspberry, rose, chocolate shards. And the chocolate is the very well-known and high-quality Amano chocolate. But here I go again, eating my own words, because if anybody can make me like cranberry, it's Caffe Panna. And they absolutely nailed the flavor, and it's actually very enjoyable, even though I will pass on the cranberry sauce at every Thanksgiving meal. So here's the deal. I don't love it, but I can absolutely appreciate it because it's very accurate. It is tart, but it's mildly tart because of the dense cream that's balancing everything out. And I know cranberry is a fall or winter type of flavor, but it has that, I'm gonna say like fruitiness, crispness, refreshness to it that you would want to enjoy after, being out on a hot summer day. But I can't lie to you about what I find under the lid. And in this particular one, when I pulled the top off, there was a cranberry, it looked like a sauce or swirl, whatever you want to call it. So Hallie, or Team Caffe Panna, they cooked down cranberries to make this base and mix it in. So for whatever reason, it didn't mix well, or it separated, it didn't settle right, whatever. But, so I tasted that, obviously. And you want to talk about tart? It had an unreal punch to it, but I surprisingly really liked it, especially paired with the base. Whether you like the sound of that or not, tough luck. You're not gonna be seeing this in any of the future packs because I can promise you it is already being addressed. The chocolate stracciatella here is a raspberry rose, but you don't get much of that at all. It does what it's supposed to do, and that's accompany the bitter, darker chocolate shards. A little floral, a little fruity sweet, but in the end, it's mainly just a dark chocolate. Look, it's not as good as Eggnog Stracciatella, but it is way better than I ever anticipated, and the execution is on point. 8 out of 10. Rounding out the first half of the Stracciatella pack is Pistachio. And I've got good news for you. Once again, they absolutely nailed the flavor. In fact, it might be the best executed flavor of them all. Way better than pistachio, cardamom, almond back in pack 3, if you can remember. I'm sorry, but it is. It's that much better. And this is a Sicilian pistachio ice cream with mango chili chocolate shards. Once again, from Omana Chocolate. You all know pistachio flavor, but this one is very woody, earthy, a little citrusy and a little bitter, but it finishes sweet. It's a really, really good base. And the reason I like it so much is because it tastes exactly like the raw pistachio nut, which is one of my favorite nuts. Closely following cashew, if you were wondering, as my favorite. I can't remember if I mentioned in the cranberry review or not, but the stracciatella is basically thin shards or flakes. They're perfectly crispy. Great textural addition. And I'm digging the chocolate more here with the pistachio than the cranberry for some reason. Now, don't let the mango chili part run you off. There isn't really any mango, any noticeable mango. However, it does finish a little spicy from the chili, which is an odd but not so bad pairing with the pistachio. While I have a lot of good things to say about this flavor, it still isn't Caffe Panna's best. However, it is another very well executed flavor that I can most certainly respect. 8 out of 10. And in case you're wondering, it's a slightly better 8 than the cranberry stracciatella. So finishing this review with the 3 flavors I thought I would enjoy the least, and they all scored 8 or higher. I think it's safe to say that Hallie calling this her absolutely favorite pack yet is not a stretch by any means. Yes, it's an adult pack. I'm gonna call it an adult pack. It's not got all the fun mix-ins and swirls, but we are off to a very good start with these 3. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next review following this one, which is gingerbread, peanut butter, and cookies in stracciatella. 3, to me, even better sounding flavors than these. Thanks for watching, guys.